Good morning, Eagles. My goodness, you really look wonderful standing up here watching you. You have no idea how much we've looked forward to this, to actually seeing people, hugging people, and talking to real people and not a TV screen. We are both medically trained. I'm Edward Nambasi. She is my beautiful, darling, young wife, Eseza Nambasi. We are the proud parents of 3 adult children and 2 granddaughters who are the apple of my eyes. So now, because I've got 2 eyes, I may have to stop there. In my daytime job, I actually work in a government hospital doing sessions because they thought I was too old to continue working, so I was retired. But instead, I got refired. So my line of work is bringing babies into this world, and I love what I do. She will tell you herself what she normally does. And by the way, she's a CEO of this business. I like to call myself the spokesperson. She's the one who saw it and then gently elbowed me in, and that was the wisest decision we ever took. Our topic this morning is going to be the danger of toxins in your home. Now, I said it was the wisest decision because we haven't had those toxins for more than 20 years in our house, and you can see the results. So, say a few words before I continue.
Okay, thank you. My name, as you've heard, is Eseza Nambasi. I'm a medical doctor. I've been that for 35, 36 years. Pretty long. But I was looking for non-toxic cleaning products. So how many of you, when you first saw this, actually said you were looking for cleaning products? Very good. I hardly hear people saying, I want to start with cleaning products. But yeah, that was me. And that's because I had a nasty habit. Whenever we went shopping, I would read labels and really scrutinize those labels. And I think it came from my training in pharmacology. That's the study of medications and all that they can do. I took a keen interest on side effects, and yeah, I would turn things upside down looking at those side effects. And that has carried me forward with my medical practice because I can see that a lot of diseases are as a result of that. But anyway, that's a different story. So in my practice, I did a lot of internal medicine, pediatrics, and things like that. But then I settled with HIV. And that was a passion of mine because I kept on asking, why is the immune system not working well? It's tempting to say it's because of a virus. But I would always ask, is it only because of a virus? And that is another part of the story that we'll delve into. But Eddie, please tell us about the effects on what you have seen in your area of obstetrics and gynecology.
Okay, first of all, when we say toxins, there are environmental and there are those in the home. You can't do very much about environmental, but you can do everything about the ones in the home. And I'm really, really grateful to our leader, Alta, for the beautiful session that she did to show you how to use those products. And the economy therein, if I may just digress a little bit, those of you who haven't looked at it, there's a fantastic clip on Telegram which shows you how to mix those. So please invest in 5-liter containers whenever you are launching a business or whenever you are launching products for your customers. Bless them with those 5-liter containers and do the initial mixing. Then they will never go wrong. They will see the full economy. Now, I was talking about the toxins outside, we can't do much, but the ones inside, where do you find them? The kitchen is probably the most toxic place because you've got a cleaner for this, a cleaner for that, a cleaner for the other, so many different things. That's how the normal world goes. But you've just heard now that Super 10 can replace all those. Now, do you shave? Do you have a shower? Do you wash clothes? All those things that you use, which are out there in the market, actually are toxic, and they can harm your health. So what she was prompting me to remind you about is, as the years have gone by, more than 80,000 chemicals in the last 50 years or so have been flooded onto the market, new ones. And unlike medicines where they have very strict controls, most of these chemicals are not tested for safety in human beings. And of course, some of the regulatory bodies are a bit suspect as well. That's another story for another day. So then what happens is these things don't poison you immediately and kill you. It's cumulative. Get small amounts, small amounts, small amounts. And that's why people don't realize that there's a problem. By the time the problem comes, you've accumulated a lot of toxins. Now, what I've seen is, and what I've read about, over the last 50 years, male fertility, the sperm count, has dropped by a half. And that's why couples struggle to become pregnant. We never used to see as many fibroids as we see in younger and younger people in the population, the ladies. Things like endometriosis are on the increase. Things like the various cancers are on the increase. They used to only be in older people, but now you're seeing them in younger and younger people all the time. What has gone wrong? And then where it really crushes me is the people who have no choice in this matter, the babies. They are affected while they're still in utero, and by the time they come out, these effects continue. And that's why you are finding difficulties with growth in some children, ADHD, which we never used to read about when I was still in medical school. It seems to have come recently. She told you she's 30-something years. Mine is actually over 40 years since I graduated. I won't tell you which year. So, all these things are increasing. Why? Think about it. You've got a tool in your hand. Would you like to carry on?
Yes, so let me just go back to my interest in the immune system, and I'll be quite specific and refer to some products as well. Okay, I was reading about a little study that was done at the University of Chicago, and it was entitled, "Dishwashing Liquid Can Be Damaging to Gut Health." Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So you can imagine there are traces of antimicrobial products. There was one that has actually been banned in some European countries, but I think we still have it here, called triclosan. Now, that is added to dishwashing liquid and other soaps and things like that. And those damage the gut lining and kill gut bacteria. Now, I want you to understand that bacteria are not always bad. In fact, we need them, as we need funguses and viruses and all sorts of things that God created. So when they kill the bacteria, they will cause a lot of issues, such as the inability to make certain hormones. And that's when we begin to see problems like mood changes, because all the neurotransmitters and hormones like dopamine and serotonin, most of which are made in the gut, are no longer being made. And that's because of your dishwasher or dishwashing liquid that you may have bought from the store, okay? And then some bacteria, as a result of that exposure to antibiotic-like products, form what we call biofilms. So they hide. And that's the way antimicrobial resistance develops. And it becomes really widespread. And so we are seeing all these diseases such as irritable bowel syndrome or behavioral changes, metabolic disorders. We think that so-and-so is lacking in hormones, thyroid hormones, it might be testosterone, it might be estrogen, when in fact, the body has been disabled because the bacteria in the gut have been destroyed. And so we see people develop, there is a situation that we call the metabolic syndrome. And let me describe it. High blood pressure, diabetes, dyslipidemia, which means cholesterol problems, a big belly fat. Have you seen people, anything like that? Or have you heard of those diseases? Yeah? Yes. And it all is because of using a product out there that is wreaking havoc in your system. So don't take this lightly. And our training, I always laugh at it, was to hear those symptoms, see those symptoms, look at those signs, and then try and medicate them away. Eagles, it won't happen. You need to take responsibility. So maybe you want to add something.
Yeah, I'd like to add something, and that is that sometimes we, up here, because of the knowledge, we may go off at a tangent, or you guys sitting there getting confused and all. I remember what our leader said just now. Keep it simple. And the simplicity is this. You are fearfully and wonderfully created. If you want to know how, go to Psalm 139. Now, the body has got within itself the means to heal itself if you give it the tools to do so. So what we are saying is, the outside environment, there's very little you can do about it. The cars are there, they're driving and fumes are coming out, factories are there, Aishcom is using coal, that you can't do anything about. But in your own kitchen, in your own bathroom, if you are still using those products out there, please stop, look at your own catalog, buy what you've got, and share it. You know that the more people we tell about this, the lower and the lower the toxic load becomes, as more and more people are using the simple products that we've got, yet very effective, yet very cost-effective. And, hey, you know that you can make some money while you're at it, eh? So that's the simplicity of what we're saying. So you may not be able to do anything about the toxins outside, but you can do something about what God gave you, this fearfully and wonderfully created. And that's when our nutrition comes in. If you're not using, at a minimum, Pro-Vitality, then go to a more minimum, and that is 3NN. All of us should be starting with that at the beginning of the day. But the foundation, the proper foundation, is your Pro-Vitality, your CalMag, and your shake, whether you prefer NutriShake or Neolife or whichever shake, but a shake as well. So those will help you to fortify yourself against those toxins out there. And that's why I'm saying it was a very good decision that we took those years ago. Because now, when I'm in the hospital, retired as I am, I can run rings around my younger colleagues. And now they're beginning to ask, where do you get the energy from? Wouldn't you like to know? So already that's a good talking point to start. She mentioned the gut bacteria. Don't forget Acidophilus is a fantastic replacement or help for your gut. It replaces it with the proper lactobacillus that you need to help body functions. And then the other one that you mustn't forget is garlic, which is a natural antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal. So please don't take garlic and Acidophilus at the same sitting. Preferably not even on the same day. Just alternate them so that you don't counter the effect of Acidophilus.
Good. I just want to touch again on the washing powder called G1. It's one of my very favorite products. And for those of you who do your dishes in the dishwasher, it's so economical. Just a half a teaspoon does amazing things with a squirt of LDC. But did you know that the commercially purchased dishwasher detergents, are known, and it is written, are known to be corrosive, and children, mothers are warned that as soon as you put it in, close it quickly so that the child doesn't touch it, and then when you take out your dishes, make sure that the sludge is not touched by the child, otherwise they might eat it and burn the... that sounds crazy. Pretty crazy. But as regards the dishwashing in the machine or the laundry by G1, a lot of people's hormones are disrupted by the phthalates. Phthalates is a class of hormone-disrupting chemicals. And that's why we're seeing a lot of challenges, as I've described. And we want to be as holistic as possible. And when you have done something about what you're doing, remember that into the surface water and the drinking water, there's accumulation in the environment by those other products from the shops. That is why I always marvel at the ingeniousness, or whatever you want to call it, how clever this opportunity is. Because you need to tell your neighbor to the left and to the right and in front of you to change their products. Otherwise, if they don't, whatever it is they're using will continue to affect you in one way or another. Now, remember the mission of Neolife? We are on a mission to make the world a healthier and happier place. And our vision is to end the trend of chronic disease. And I've just rattled off a lot of chronic diseases that actually might be starting with the chemicals that people are buying. It makes sense, right?
So in summary, Super 10, LDC, G1, and CARE. If you buy those 4, you're going to save yourself quite a bit of money from your bill, which then will enable you to go Pro Vitality, NutriShake, CalMag. And at the end of the day, you'll be healthier, you'll be happier, and then you'll be in a position to talk to somebody else because they'll look at you. I need what you got.
Yes. And so you give it to them. Give them the opportunity. Thank you very much.